kaya nga naman ang kanida rin nga mga IP address or network address nga gigamit will be summarized onto this area border router, no? Into this router here, and push all the data to our ASBR. And the ASBR is responsible of what? Putting all the pushing all the resources to another area. So makita karon sa kaninga network nga rin is the summary of all the networks coming from here and vice versa. Okay? So that's the beauty of implementing the multi-area OSPF. Okay. So summarization will lessen the burden of the routers to execute the shortest path first calculation every time the routers communicate at different area. So take note, no, basing on our previous topic, giun sa pag giun sa pag elect or pag compute ni OSPF sa shortest path nga iyang gamiton. So di ba it's according to the cost, no? According to the cost. But according to the cost also includes the summarization so that the router will have a less burden of identifying asa siya moagi which is the best route. So take note, this is only one route, correct? So imagine na lang if this is connected to another route here which is connected to another route. So meaning naa siya laing way. So if I'm going to connect this one to this one, so there will be two routes na, no? In order for me to go to this point, to that point, so pwede ko kaagi at this point, pwede sa ko kaagi at this point, if ever I have connected this one, right? So that's how SPF computes for the best route. Okay, going back, so the best OSPF multi-area works best if it is planned well. So kanang atong kanang ato ang pag-implement sa multi-area OSPF kinahanglan planuhon jud nato pag maayo. What to plan? Ang plano jud nato is number one, OSPF multi-area network has two layers. Okay? This layer includes what? Hierarchy, which is the backbone, which is the area 0, or the non-backbone, which is the area 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So kung kabantay mo sa atong example, so we have the backbone in which all backbones are connected, in which all other areas are connected to that backbone. And that backbone is this is where we place our ASBR router, which is the autonomous system boundary router, okay, which the purpose of which is our edge, no? Edge sa ato ang network. So having this is to reduce the routing table if that's the case, kung ato ni siyang i-divide into different areas. Dili na siya dako nga routing table, but rather each of the area has its own routing table. You get the idea? So meaning ato na siyang gibuak-buak nga routing table. Addressing should be contiguous. Masing to nga when you plan out your network, contiguous ng imong addressing. Maging contiguous, sunod-sunod na. Kaya para makita na ninyo later when we are going to compute for the summary. Subnetting on CIDR is a must, no? It helps reduce the size of the routing table because summary routes will be advertised into different areas. So naatay mga formula later in order for us to compute for summary routes. Okay? So take note lang. For each area, naatay mga size nga i-implement. Like for example, the area in which you are going to implement your area 0 or the backbone should be what? O maski na lang sa area nga na ABR. So you know ABR already, that's an area border router. This is placed in between your backbone and the non-backbone area network. So this is your non-backbone area, this is your backbone area here at the blue. So siya ang nasa tunga sa duha, right? Kay area border man siya. So that's the border between your area 1 and area 0. Okay? And all the areas here should have to be not more than 50 routers. So kanina sa atong example is only 1, 2, 3, 4 routers na gani. And later on makita nato how populated is our routing table, excuse me. Okay? And the autonomous system border router or autonomous system boundary router, it's an edge router or an autonomous system of the organization. So this is our organization, the entire network set up na to is our organization, And the ASBR is our edge, no? And that edge is called the backbone, which is directly connected to the ISP. You get the idea? So kanang ISP na to mauna karon ang mohatag og internet service provider para sa tanan. Unsaon na to pag palahos ana later. Okay? So I hope nakuha ninyo ang concept sa concept sa ato ang uh, multi-area OSPF. Take note lang when you create your OSPF, no? Kuan lang, no? OSPF, then you identify the PID number or the router OSPF. Mga ba niya itong command yun, router OSPF, then you have to identify the PID number, like for example, PID number 2, PID number 10, PID number 7. So, if I am the OS of a particular router, kinsang unahon ako na process. So, it's 2, right? 2, kay siya man ang una. Then, even if I put 10 next to 2, it cannot be implemented because there is a list number other than 10, which is 7. So 7 is much more is much lesser than 10. That's why the procedure on executing this OSPF is process ID number 2, process ID number 7, and process ID number 10. Okay, so that would be the process. Then after which you are going to put a router ID. Okay, each router ID of the router is very significant. Has a very significant information when you are connecting it to the other router. Okay, the format of this router ID is somewhat like an IP address. So the IP address would be 1.1.1.1 or 2.2.2.2 or 3.3.3.3 depending on how you plan it out. So later, kung planuhon na to ni kung asa dapita sa router na 1.1.1